Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I want to talk about a newfound goal, or really a morphing of a goal that I had from the beginning of the year with my TBR, and that's to get my physical TBR to 0 books. So originally at the beginning of the year, I wanted to get my TBR down by June to under 30 books, I think I said, based on how quickly I was reading things and how I was bringing things in. And I've actually already achieved that as of a few days before the end of March. I'm at like 29 books. So I was talking to my Patreons on my Patreon exclusive Discord. This is a new thing as of this month. So no matter what amount people support me on Patreon with, they get access to a Patreon exclusive Discord. We talk about general life stuff. We talk about book goals. We're doing group read-along buddy reads of the books that they vote in polls for every month for me to read. They get to vote in polls for video topics. There's a lot going on. But on Patreon specifically, we were talking, and a couple of my Patreon babies were like, why don't you get your TBR down to 0? Because I was like, well, by the end of the Owls Readathon in April, if I read all the books that I want to read, and I read the 3 books I'm reading now before the end of March, by the end of March, I'll be down to 26 books, and then I plan to read like about 10 next month in April, so I'll be down to like 16 books. And then I can get down to 0. So before, I've never said I want to get down to 0. That's never been a goal of mine. People have been doing 0 by 16, 0 by 17, like for years now, and I've never wanted to do it because I'm like, oh, I always want something to read. Ideally, I want to always have a TBR of like 10 to maybe 20 max books at all times, because then I can read those books within 6 months of getting them, and that's always been the goal. So the goal isn't to keep my TBR at 0, but I think I am going to try to get down to 0 because I have a bunch of spare time on my hands, as do a lot of us, staying inside our houses and flattening the curve. And what my Patreon babies were mentioning when they were like, get down to 0, is that some of them are doing this as well, and they're going to be rereading some books while they wait for a book order to come in after they get to 0. And I'm like, that is genius, because I have so many books that I do want to reread. I mean, not so many, but like I have a number of books that I want to reread, between maybe like 5 and 10. And I don't read them or reread them because I have books on my TBR and I'm like, I want to get my TBR down. That's been my focus for years. So I think it'll be really nice to get my TBR down to 0 and then spend some time rereading some things. It sounds like a delight. So sort of for accountability, but also just for like tracking my goals, because I do talk about my goals so much on my channel, I decided to put this video out. I know that really you don't need to watch this video and you can just look at the title and know what I'm doing, and I don't need to talk to you about it, but I do want to talk to you guys about it because I know a lot of people do this kind of like 0 TBR thing. Maybe I can inspire you guys to try to get your TBR down to 0, maybe bring less books in. And when I do buy books, I plan on buying them from indies that are still doing online shipments. So that's something that I'm doing during this time to help support indies. So once I get my TBR down, I'm going to buy some books from indie sellers and just kind of go from there. So I want to hear your thoughts if you've ever gotten your TBR down to 0, any tips or anything like that, or if you're doing it currently. I personally am not doing not bringing any books in before then. So if I do want to do like a pre-order of a book, or if I get sent some things and I want to keep them, I will. So I'm not doing a like no book buying until I get to 0, but I do plan on getting to 0 before making like a huge purchase of like multiple books or whatever, which I haven't even done a purchase of multiple books in quite some time. But that is my goal. And we will also be talking about this on my Patreon Discord, because like I said, there are goal check-ins and stuff. Not everyone is doing the 0 TBR thing. All of us are just kind of like holding each other accountable through the Discord on our goals. So if you're interested in getting in on that supportive community action, and just a lot of community right now and talking, because, you know, we're distancing, guys, so it's good to kind of have a little community. I found it really comforting to be talking to everybody on Discord every day, so I will link my Patreon on the screen. So comment down below and let me know, like I said, your thoughts, if you're doing this too, if you're jumping in with me now, whatever. Let me know your thoughts about the 0 TBR. Like I said, I never thought I'd be doing this. I always told other people when they asked me if I want to get to 0, like, no, 0 is never the goal, and it's not the long-term goal, but I want to get to 0 and then, you know, have between 5 to 20 books my TBR from there on out. It's gonna be wild. Whole new world, guys. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.